Today, we're going to talk about the proper way to do cardio to maximize fat burn and health. You might be thinking that you already know how to do cardio properly, or that it doesn't even need any explaining. All you have to do is run or bike a little bit, and that's it, you'll burn fat. However, most people that do cardio actually get into chronic patterns. They train a little bit too long or a little too tough without sufficient rest time. Trust me, I know all about that story as a former Division I track athlete. While the conventional wisdom of train as hard as possible and you'll get into great shape is good for getting in good fitness shape, it isn't that good for your health. Chronic exercise, otherwise known as anaerobics, is very depleting. It'll actually result in your brain needing more glucose and spiking insulin production, which will make you store fat instead of burning it. When it comes to doing cardio to burn fat, you want to look at fat oxidation and building a metabolism that helps you burn fat optimally. It isn't just about burning calories because that's more of a short-term solution and will usually result in you losing lean muscle mass instead of fat. Some other downsides to anaerobics are that you're going to have more inflammation in your body, your muscles are going to have more fatigue and acidic damage in them, and there's going to be more oxidative stress throughout your whole body. But the worst part about anaerobics is actually the damage we're doing to our heart. It's a well-known and common thing that endurance athletes have a lot of heart issues, and that's because the heart is an involuntary muscle, and it'll keep up with demand and the signals from your brain even if it's not healthy. But don't let that fool you. Just because it's keeping up doesn't mean there isn't damage occurring. In a lot of cases, there's going to be cardiac arrhythmias, which is when your heart is beating too fast, too slow, or just irregularly. And cardiac arrhythmias is strongly linked to strokes and cognitive decline. Well, none of that sounds too appealing, so now let's look at the proper way to do cardio, which is aerobics. When you're doing aerobics, you want to look at your maximum aerobic heart rate and make sure not to go over that. When you're at your maximum aerobic heart rate, that means you're also at your maximum fat oxidation, which means you're burning fat as efficiently as possible. If you go over your maximum aerobic heart rate, you're going to get a spike in glucose burning, which is going to lower your fat oxidation, meaning you're not burning fat as efficiently as you could be. So you're probably wondering, well, how can I tell what my maximum aerobic heart rate is? I've never even heard of that before this video. Basically, to find your maximum aerobic heart rate, you take the number 180 and subtract your age from that. For example, I'm 23, so 180 minus 23 is going to be 157. That's my maximum aerobic heart rate. So whenever I do cardio, I want my heart rate to be around 157, probably a little bit below to be safe. So I like to do like a 152 through 157 range for my heart rate. And a trick you can do, or if you're in the gym, you can hold on to one of those machines that tells you about your heart rate. But let's say you're not in the gym and you don't know what to do. Well, one, you can actually buy things that can monitor your heart rate when you're doing cardio. But if you don't want to do that, a trick you can do is when you're doing cardio, close your mouth and breathe through your nose. If you're able to run or bike and breathe through your nose, you're likely still in aerobics versus anaerobics. Something else you can do to help stay in aerobics instead of anaerobics is warming up before you do cardio. If you jump into your cardio workout and go a little too hard, way too quick, well then you're going to be more prone to glucose burning while your body's still getting into fat burning mode. I know all this information sounds a little weird because our conventional wisdom has taught us to do cardio differently. It's always been about training as hard as possible, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right way to do it. It really just depends on your fitness goals. If you're trying to compete competitively for a 5K or a triathlon, well then this might not be the sort of training that you want to do. You might want to stick to that train hard regimen. But for general health and fitness, aerobics is the way to go. If you want to see what my weekly cardio looks like, go ahead and click the link below and enter in your email address and I'll send you a weekly schedule of my cardio workouts. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for my future videos.